Why Benjamin Sesko would change everything at Manchester United. We're going to break down what would be one of the most exciting transfers this summer, how he'd fit in at Manchester United, and of course a look at the player himself. Leave your comments down below. Is it the right fit for Manchester United? Is it the right fit for Benjamin Sesko? Potentially the biggest club in world football coming in for you and having a brand new front three with the likes of Mbeumo, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, Amad Diallo. It's very, very exciting. Let's be completely real. Make sure you subscribe as well. Would really appreciate it. An overview has to be that Benjamin Sesko is one of the most exciting young strikers in world football, and there aren't many of them around. You look at Victor Gyökeres, you look at Osimhen, you look at Haaland still doing bits at such a young age. There aren't really many after that. Harry Kane, Lewandowski in their 30s. Sesko is the potential future of strikers in world football. He can do everything. He's got pace, he's got power, he's got a great finish on him. 39 goals in 87 for Leipzig, 6 goals in the Champions League as well. These are great numbers for someone that obviously was at Leipzig when he was 18, 19 years old. He's an absolute powerhouse. I mean, you look at Manchester United, sometimes they sign a player who's a little bit too old. You think maybe Falcao, you think weirdly Ighalo, and sometimes they go a little bit cheap with the options. You think of even though Højlund wasn't cheap, it was a strange signing. Didn't have the same caliber as someone like Sesko. Sesko right now is in a top level kind of place in his career. He's on the borderline of being a world class striker. If Man United got him, it would change everything. And if they could get the balance of their side right, if they could get the system right, he could definitely score enough goals to fire these guys up the table into European position. There's no doubt in my mind if it works, if it clicks, and of course if it happens. The deal's very interesting for a number of reasons. Firstly, yes, Manchester United have lost a lot of money. When you lose a Europa League final, when you lose out in European football for the first time in many, many years, when you come 15th in the Premier League table, you lose out on revenue. You lose out on making the money needed to keep going in for big players like Man United have done for the last 10 years. But let's be real. They got a big, baggy, expensive squad. If Leipzig want Antony, if Leipzig want Sancho, if Leipzig want Højlund, that is the kind of quality player that could still work for Leipzig that maybe Newcastle United can't quite offer Leipzig in return. And it makes the deal a lot easier, and it obviously strengthens Manchester United in a big way because they need to limit their squad as well. So you think about that as a very, very big advantageous moment for Manchester United. Leipzig could definitely do with someone like Sancho. I think would be a good deal for them because he loves playing in German football. Antony as well. I know he's been linked to Leverkusen. Anyone. Garnacho to Leipzig, why not? I know it's not quite their model. Maybe someone like Garnacho would want to go to maybe a slightly bigger club, with all due respect. But whatever you say about Manchester United, how can they afford this deal with Mbeumo and Cunha? You think actually they've got assets they can give Leipzig. And the big thing for Manchester United is also, if we see them as genuine challengers for Europe this season or next season with Ruben Amorim, taking a player away from Newcastle United, weakening their position. They've already done it a couple of times with Cunha and Mbeumo. It's a massive ringing endorsement for not only the size and the gravity of Manchester United, but the actual the size and the appetite from footballers to play for Ruben Amorim. This is a big moment for Ruben Amorim. He's being backed. He's got a brand new front three. There might be more players coming in as well. There might be more players leaving, trimming the squad, sort of gaining his power and his influence over the Manchester United squad. If Sesko comes in playing alongside Cunha and Mbeumo, that is one of the most devastating, exciting front threes in world football. It is. And Man United came 15th last season, so that's a massive testament to where they are as a football club. They can still attract big footballers. Sesko's famously come out and said that he was influenced by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and this is the kind of deal where he could come in as a 6'4", pacey striker. He's got a bit of trickery, not in the same way as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course not, but he's the kind of guy that could bully and rough up defenders. I think the Haaland comparisons are always cheap. I'm not being biased because Erling Haaland is a once in a 20-year striker. His numbers are Messi and Ronaldo levels for his age. They are. If you look at the amount of goals he's got in the Champions League as well, hitting 3 hat-tricks in 8 appearances in the Premier League. I mean, let that sink in. So Sesko's not there even right now. Even pre-Man City Haaland, I don't think he's in the same category. But he's just below that. And he could end up being a striker that scores 30 goals in the Premier League because he's very, very naturally gifted in the box. He can carry the ball. He can set up his own goals as well. And you look at the Premier League, as much as there's a focus on the possession, on the style of these football sides, there aren't Rolls-Royce centre-backs. I think Sesko could easily come in and bully a lot of centre-backs, a lot of the bottom half, the 3 promoted clubs. I think Sesko would find a lot of joy playing for Manchester United, getting service from Bruno, who created a lot of chances last season, service from Cunha, service from wing-backs, service from Mbuemo, who sets up a lot if you think about his connection with Vissa as well. They need someone like Sesko desperately. You actually look at it and think it's a deal that could actually make a lot of sense for both parties as well. Because you're Sesko, as much as Man United aren't playing in the Champions League, you take one season off and you're obviously getting a massive pay packet. You're moving to the biggest club in world football out of nowhere. I think it makes a lot of sense for the player as well. If you're being super ruthless, you'd be maybe saying Newcastle United for the Champions League, but I just don't think they can get over the line logistically speaking, maybe in terms of wages, in terms of what they can offer Leipzig. They're hamstrung by PSR, there's no doubt about it. Man United can come in and actually bully the transfer market a little bit and get the player that they want. I think that's a very, very dangerous sign for other clubs around Manchester United, wherever they finish next season, because Sesko will be banging in big goals. If you ask me right now, who would I want at the start of the season if I'm Ruben Amorim for the next 12 months, it would be Ollie Watkins. Obviously, he's been in discussions as well. Ollie Watkins would guarantee, if he stays fit, 20 Premier League goals next season, I'm pretty sure. 25 in all comps, 30 in all comps. And that could fire Manchester United at the table. But Sesko for the next 3, 4, 5 years. What if the Ruben Amorim system works? What if his energy, his vitality as a young manager does translate? There is a bit of a fresh start at Manchester United. These are big ifs. I've been highly critical of Ruben Amorim since he's come in. I have been. But if you sign Mbuemo, Cunha, got Bruno there and Sesko, something will stick eventually. And you do think that Sesko could be a big part of that. So long term, if Amorim does stay there, if he wins something next season, I think you'd rather have Sesko for the next 18 months at a bare minimum, and then you go into the future. Ollie Watkins, of course, a lot older than Sesko as well. Sesko's got a world-class ceiling in a way that Ollie Watkins doesn't. I know that I'd rather have Watkins right now, but that's a different debate. If you're planning on the future for Manchester United, if you're planning on brand new stadiums, if you're planning on regenerating the biggest football club in the world, Ollie Watkins isn't quite a Manchester United striker, as much I think he's completely underrated by football fans. He isn't a Manchester United signing. There we go. Could be another Newcastle United player that Manchester United come in and completely steal from under their noses. It's a bad day to be Alan Shearer. It's a bad day to be Sam Fender. Let's be completely real. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below. Sesko, if he joins Manchester United, I want to know how many goals do you think he'll get in the Premier League next season. I'm going to be completely real. I think he could get 20 Premier League goals next season in the Premier League. I actually could. As long as he stays fit, and of course there's service from other players around them, and Cunha rise at a good level, and Mbuemo and Bruno Fernandes, he could definitely score 20 Premier League goals for Manchester United next season. With their defence, with their keeper, is it enough for top 4, top 5, a top half finish? Some people would be dubious of that, but those are my opinions on it. I think he'd be a top striker for Manchester United. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon.